Today we're gonna work on these Nintendos I've been neglecting for way too long. I got my new 72 pin connectors in the mail. So we're gonna get these all fixed, ready to sell. But before that, I'm going to put a glass protector that I found on my phone. Pretty simple. They're less than $10. You can get them off of eBay or on Amazon. It's actually made out of glass. It's not just plastic. And it fits perfectly onto your phone to where if you drop your phone, this provides an extra level of protection where this thing has a better chance of breaking than the glass underneath it. Your phone is one of your most useful tools in life, so I highly recommend putting a glass protector on it if anyone does not have one already. They're super easy to find on eBay or Amazon. It does not impede the touch screen at all. Super easy to install, and I'll show you guys how to install it right now. Clean it with an alcohol prep pad. And it would have protected this phone from all of these previous owner scratches if he would have put one of these on. And then this is to remove dust. So if you see any, you put 2 of these on the actual screen itself. That helps you to drop it to where you want to drop it. And then you take off this back right here, grab where you want to drop it, and then line it up, and then you just drop it. And it actually, look at it, it just sucks to the screen. Look at that. Whoosh. And if you did it well, you should get no bubbles. The bubbles, oh, I got 1 dust bubble there. That's okay. And then that one will go away if I just wipe it. So I kind of rushed to get this video done, and I got 1 little dust bubble, but that's okay. My screen is now protected. And I've done the screen thing on pretty much every device I've owned for like the past 5 years. All my iPads. I even did it on an iPad Pro. All the job I did on the iPad Pro had no dust in it, and it has a huge screen. Let me grab my other iPad, I'll show you. Oh, we just sold something on Etsy. Nice. We just sold something on Etsy. I don't have my iPad, or I don't have Etsy installed on my phone, so we sold something on Etsy 4 minutes ago. But I do have, but it is a perfectly installed glass protector, especially on the iPad. If you drop this, you do not want to break your glass because it's a lot more difficult to replace. A lot more expensive to replace. So I put them on all my devices. I recommend it for anyone out there. Put it on your cameras, put it on your, if your camera has a touchscreen. I remember my GoPro, before my GoPro, there's a good percentage of chance that it will save your device, and they're so cheap. Get them off Amazon, sell them Prime. Shoot, I'll even install it for you if we ever meet up. Now, let's get into the Nintendos. All right, so I got my 72 pin connectors. I bought 5 of them for 25 bucks off of eBay. Means they're about $5 a piece. I got a stack of Nintendos that I need to work on. I already took the screws out of this one. There's 6 screws. Phillips head, you usually can get in there with a Phillips 1. We open this bad boy up. Ooh, needs pins fixed. I already knew that. Okay, so. We open this bad boy up. There are some more screws that need to come out. So that comes off. And then we need to get this bad boy off. So guess what? Some more screws. And all the screws are the same size except for the 2 silver screws that go into this place right there, and then right here, the 2 silver screws. When you take it apart, you'll see that. The rest of them are this like shiny color, and they're all the same size. You kind of finagle this thing out of here. Like that. That gets placed to the side. This is what we're in here for, is this pin connector right here. All you do is you grab it by the horns. You grab this pin connector right here by the horns, and you just wiggle it gingerly, and she slides out. This is what's getting replaced. This is what goes bad over time. The pins stretch out. We can't really complain considering these things are from the 80s. They've lasted this long. The circuits and everything has lasted this long. The capacitors, the joints, the buttons, everything. We can't really complain that one easily replaceable piece fails. Old one's gonna get pitched. And then we got our new one, but before I put my new one in, I'm gonna take a little bit of Brasso on a Q-tip. Oops. I'm gonna take a little bit of Brasso on a Q-tip and polish these pins up really good. Still getting a lot of dirt off of it. Once you get that all back in there, I'm gonna torque it down with the one setting on the drill. And there we have one. I probably should have done a test without putting everything back together. First try, and she's beautiful. It is a little bit more difficult to get the game in and out, but that is because the pins are brand new. They're not stretched out yet. They're 30 years back in time. Right there, it's like a harder press and then down, but it's first try. Like, who remembers when you used to play Nintendo and everything was like a first try press? Amazing, and we got 4 more to do. Just sold Pocky and Rocky for the Super Nintendo. This sold for $130. I've had this game for probably 5 years. I've played it a couple times. The soundtrack is amazing. It is, it's like a top-down shoot 'em game. It's really cool. It's actually a really, really cool game, and the soundtrack is amazing. There's a lot of Japanese culture in this game. Look, there's a Tori in the background. She's wearing some sort of like karate kimono thing. Raccoon for a pet. And I just took some pictures. I didn't include pictures of the board in the listing. I should have. So I took some pictures of the board, opened the board up to take pictures, sent them to the buyer to protect me because I don't want nobody buying this and sending it back. So I sent him a few pictures saying, hey, I forgot to include this in the listing. I wanted to show you how clean the board is. You're not gonna be disappointed. So I'm gonna put this back together. We're gonna get this shipped out. And I think we're gonna do signature confirmation just because it's 130 bucks. And we haven't sold a Yakima in a long while. One of these just sold for 10 bucks going to California. Sold for 15 bucks, not bad. It's not in the greatest of shape. This thing is super old and funky. It's an AJD. I forget the name of this exact type. It's like a mesh trucker hat. 15 bucks going to Lakeland, Florida. Who remembers this bad boy? Smart Guard. I filed the claim with Smart Guard. Just filled out a couple things pretty easily online. Prepaid label. I'm gonna mail it back to them via FedEx, and then I'll update everybody once that claim is done. And I will always, always, always buy insurance on my brand new cameras now. I'm so glad I bought insurance on this. This trunk is so awesome. I can fit flat rate medium boxes in there. Wow. If you have a Nintendo at home that doesn't read games, I challenge you to crack it open, buy a 72-pin connector, and fix it. It's really like 1 out of 5 difficulty. It's super easy. And it'll get you a little bit out of your comfort zone if you've never done it before. There's plenty of information in this video and on the internet to do it. If you still are afraid, feel free to send me a message or a comment, and I will answer any questions you might have. That you have a broken Nintendo at home or a working Nintendo sometimes, it just doesn't like to read games all the time. Fix it. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, give the video a thumbs up. If you have any encouraging comments, I would love to hear them. I'm going to go home and tally up all the emoji votes. Thanks for everyone who voted to see the fate of the falsies, and I will talk to you guys in the morning. Bye. They've got no chance of survival. here's the aftermath. You will never fool anyone ever again.